Presenting School Day Memories, please help me welcome Distinguished Toastmaster PJ Glauz.
School days, dear old golden rule days. Those were a long time ago for me. Yes, they were, but they were fun times. I don't remember persnickety teachers. I remember good teachers, but I don't remember if they were male or female. However, some things I do remember, and I'll share them with you. This is me. Aren't I? Isn't that? Now, when I went to school, it was beyond the one-room schoolhouse. I'm not quite that old. However, 5 or 6, there wasn't preschool yet. So 5 or 6, I started kindergarten. And my school was West Leonard Elementary School. And there I spent my school years 1 through 6. And oh, they were good times. I especially enjoyed recess. I can remember, and it was before girls wore shorts under their skirts, and we always wore skirts and dresses to school, never pants other than the undergarments. And so it was nothing when we were hanging on the bars in recess. We were little, we were having fun. Recess was great. I remember singing, the Christmas carols in the Christmas play. They were one of my favorite things to do. Oh, how I liked grade school. But the most memorable time I had in grade school was a field trip. Yep, the field trip to Lansing, Michigan. Now, I was raised in school in Grand Rapids. And we're about 120, 130 miles from Lansing. And so we got to ride the bus to Lansing, Michigan, to the state capitol. And I was impressed, very impressed with the ambiance of the state capitol. If you ever get an opportunity to visit state capitals, the architecture in those buildings is phenomenal. And I enjoyed that at a very young age. Grade school memories. Did you have a good time in grade school? I certainly did. But then it's on to junior high. Now this beautiful structure, Harrison Park Junior High School. There I spent years, 3 years, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And that's where I had lots of firsts. I enjoyed my first basketball game. I enjoyed it so much and was so enthralled with watching the guys that I went in the basement to my dad's jigsaw and cut out letter H's for the knee pads of the basketball team. And another first that I had was my first confrontation with a teacher, the music teacher. I wanted to play the bass. She wanted me to play the cello. I sang in the choir. We could not reach an understanding. Another first that happened when I was in junior high school was my first job. I went to work at the YMCA. I bussed dishes. That was my very first job. But I worked my way up to making salads. And lo and behold, when I was proficient at that, I became the cashier in the cafeteria at a very young age. And I got paid cash in little manila envelopes. And it was great. But what wasn't so neat about that? was my mom wanted rent. Yes, I had to pay rent, not a lot, but the responsibility of paying for housing once you reach the time that you can be employed, it was there. Oh, I was taught to be responsible. Yes, I was. Also, leadership. That is the first time in junior high that I was recognized for leadership. Now, fellow Toastmasters, don't ask me what I was leading. I have no recollection of that whatsoever. But I was presented with a book. It was my first motivational, inspirational book. And the author of the book was William Danford. And he was the founder of Ralston Purina Company. And he worked with youth through his youth programs and created the Danford Foundation, which worked with youth up until 2011, at which time the foundation decided to put all of their finances into a science company in St. Louis. But I was recognized for great leadership. I also was in my first play. I got to play a maid. Yes, waiting on people. I do that well. But it was a fun time. But probably the most memorable experience that I had in junior high school was meeting my husband-to-be. Yes, we met when we were in junior high school. That was a long time ago. Come June this year, we celebrate our 60th wedding anniversary. So, it lasted. Thank you, Mom, for teaching responsibility. But then, out of junior high, we get to go to high school. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a picture of my beautiful high school because when my brother reached high school age, they decided they needed a new school. And most recently, my old school became condos. So anyway, I never took a colored picture of my old school. When I went to high school, I decided that I didn't want to work anymore. I wanted to socialize. And so I quit my job and I socialized. I was a member of the commercial club. I was a member of Y-Teens. I was a member of the drama club. And I was on the Aurora staff. And my responsibility for that was to lay out the faculty section. Talk about fun. Oh, wow. Laying out the faculty section of the yearbook. Something. But what I really wanted was I wanted a high school letter. Well, there were no girls' sports. None whatsoever. But I researched and found out that school letters were given to girls who, what? Joined the ROTC. So I joined the ROTC. I learned how to march in formation. I was a sharpshooter with a rifle. And yes, I became an officer. And there I am with my school sweater and my school letters. Oh, high school, a memorable occasion. And then time for graduation. Wonderful high school days. Two of my biggest memories were things that my father told me. One was, you're going to be in school until you're 40 if you don't graduate before. So I graduated at the appropriate time. The other was paraphrased. I didn't know it was a paraphrased Einstein quote, but he said, never memorize anything you can look up. But my all-time favorite Einstein quote is, when you stop learning, you begin to die. Fellow Toastmasters, continue your education. Mr. Toastmaster.